Hello Boro fans, it's Joe from Boro Fan TV and this is the preview for the upcoming game on Wednesday the 2nd of December with a 7pm kickoff as the Boro take on Swansea City in the Skybet Championship at the Riverside Stadium. Now, it's fair to say that Huddersfield was definitely not one of our best days of this season by far as we slipped to a 3-2 defeat over at the John Smith Stadium. We did go in front inside the first 14 minutes through Marvin Johnson's well-taken finish. But from then on, it was mostly all Huddersfield pretty much. As Carol Eiting equalised for Huddersfield, and then Fraser Campbell gave them the lead before half-time. Most people will say that Marcus Bettinelli was probably going to be to blame for all the goals from their perspective, but in my opinion, I think he could have done a lot more with the third, which I will get to in a sec. Now, obviously, Huddersfield dominated possession-wise in the second half, but then eventually we got the equaliser with just about 10 minutes to go through Britta Sombalonga's well-taken penalty. But 2 minutes later, Huddersfield were back in front through Josh Karoma with a shot which, to be honest, Bettinelli should have done a lot better, but at the same time, you know, he could really parry it. He couldn't really parry it towards the other side of the goal, but either way, it was a big defeat for us. I think we did look fatigue throughout that game in general, but it's another game, you know, we're only in towards December now, we're near enough towards the crucial end of the season. So we've got to pick up, and we've got a tough game coming up against one of the teams, in my opinion, I think they're going to be up there at the end of the season. So it's good. There's a bit of good news though in the camp though. It was just announced today that Paddy McNair has signed a new long-term deal at the club, which will keep him at the club until around 2024. And a bit of bad news as well. Grant Hall is re-aggravated his thigh injury, so he's going to be out of action now for up to a period of 12 to 16 weeks. So it's a big blow for us defence-wise, but we've got a couple of players to cover that position anyway, so I think we should be okay with that. But apart from that, it's just really Marcus Brown and Ashley Fletcher are the other injuries that we have at the moment. Although I've heard a rumour that Ashley Fletcher has resumed light training, but that might be a rumour that he's returned to light training, but we'll have to wait and see over the next couple of weeks whether he's fit to get back into the team or not. But apart from that, squad's fit to go. Now to our opponents, Swansea City, under their manager Steve Cooper, who's in this is his second season now in charge of the Swans after he took over at the start of last season. They've been doing well. Obviously, they were unlucky not to get in. They were unlucky in the playoffs last season, which they got knocked out in the semi-finals at the hands of Brentford. But they bounced back and have got off to a decent start in the Championship this season. They're currently in 4th place in the table. Obviously, we're 10th. The current record is played 13, won 7, drawn 3 and lost 2. Last game out for them was a 1-0 away defeat at the hands... 1-0 home win. 1-0 away win, sorry, at the hands of Nottingham Forest. But either way, Swansea, like I said, they got to a good start. They picked up from, obviously, where they were at last season in terms of getting into the playoffs and eventually falling short. But they picked up, got back round, and they've still got players capable of making another promotion challenge this season. Obviously, key players to watch for the game coming up on Wednesday. Obviously, the main man to watch has got to be Andre Ayew, without a doubt. The Ghana international striker has scored in the last couple of games. To be honest, Andre Ayew is a player who could very easily be playing Premier League football right now, to be truthful. But I mean that in a good way, actually, because even though his brother's playing in the Premier League at the minute, Jordan Ayew, who's at Crystal Palace, I do definitely think that Andre still has the calibre to play in that level. Also, they've got Jamal Lowe as well, who they've brought in from Wigan in this window as well. And they've got other players who can cause a threat as well, like Jake Bidwell, Matt Grimes, Corey Smith. And there's also 2 former Borough loanees in Carl Norton and Connor Roberts, who's coming to form. Connor Roberts recently, even though he didn't make much of an impact at Borough, he only made a couple of appearances here and there and so on. Also, they've got Freddie Woodman, the goalkeeper, on loan from Newcastle. He's quite good. Mark Gay, who's on loan from Chelsea as well. So they're good. like I say, Swansea have got the players and the calibre enough to challenge for promotion this season, because obviously they were unlucky not to get there last season. Now, last time we played Swansea was at the Riverside back in June, our first game back after the lockdown, and that game proved to be Jonathan Woodgate's final game in charge of the Boro, as we slipped to a 3-0 defeat. Obviously 2 goals from Ryan Brewster, who's now with Sheffield United, of course, and an Andre Ayew penalty decided the game for the Swans. Now, I don't think we've got a good record against Swansea for the last couple of years, and the last win I can remember was beating them 1-0 at the Riverside whilst we were still in the Premier League. But all that can change, you know. It's been a pretty tough season. Obviously, some fans will get to go back to the grounds, which obviously we can't at the moment because we're still in Tier 3. But let me know, Boro fans, your predictions going into the game coming up against Swansea. Do you fancy a win with 2 tough away games coming up against Stoke and Preston to come? Because we've got a difficult run. We've got a difficult run up going up to Christmas, so it's going to be tough. Can we end 2020 on the back of a few wins under our belt? Let us know your thoughts and predictions in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe as always. Our social media links are in the description below. And I apologise for the lighting as always, because I had to do this preview very late. So until then, I've been Joe from Boro Fan TV, and I will see you on the next preview video, which will be for the game against Stoke City at the Bet365 Stadium on December the 5th. Until then, take care, stay safe, and up the Boro.